in that video that posed a threat to law enforcement?
Well, I'll tell you what I don't see, and I don't see protesting happening. And this narrative that what was happening on that yesterday morning was interrupted by ICE is not. I also do not see a full state law enforcement officer there to help. What we're talking about is what we have is ICE doing isolated operations to get criminals off the street with zero cooperation from the governor, from leadership in Congress, or from the mayor. And so when you see what we just observed, was that peaceful protesting? Of course not. That was a very violent occurrence because ICE cannot do their job effectively when local law enforcement refuses to help. And that is what's so tragic about what happened yesterday and what's been happening in Minneapolis for the past several weeks, is that ICE is doing all of this work, doing their jobs, and local law enforcement are not being allowed to do a single thing to help, and that is dangerous, as we saw yesterday morning.
Mr. Blanche, respectfully, there are only 600 police officers in Minneapolis. There are 3,000 ICE agents. Local officials there say it strains credulity to think that they back up every ICE official. But I want to stick to the video and what happened yesterday, the specifics of it. What exactly threatened those law enforcement officials? Did at any point Mr. Petty brandish a gun?
I can see the video that everybody else can see, and it's been analyzed up and down for the past 24 hours. But there's obviously an investigation that's ongoing. Secretary Noem talked about that yesterday, which is what we would expect anytime a tragedy like this occurs. But I disagree with you when you say what was there that looked as if there was a confrontation that was we don't know what happened in the minutes leading up to that to what we just watched. We don't know what ICE saw, what ICE heard. That's part of the investigation that's going to be happening. But what we did not see, again, we cannot avoid this conversation. What we did not see is a single cop helping with that isolated, targeted effort by ICE to arrest a criminal. And you're right, there are three. Go ahead, sorry.
Did you see him at any point brandish a gun? Have you been told by law enforcement there on the ground that at any point he brandished a gun, that he threatened them with a gun? The video shows he's holding up a cell phone.
No, you can't see what is happening. What you do see is you see several ICE officers surrounding him. You see a violent interaction with the man who was shot. And so we don't know. The video, no matter how many times you look at it, no matter how many different angles that we see, there's a lot that we don't see. And that's exactly why you have to have an investigation, which is exactly what DHS is doing and exactly what we would hope that they would do. But you can't tell exactly what happened. It was a very instant violence. These law enforcement, ICE has a very tough job. It is very hard when they're walking trying to do their job and there are agitators and rioters everywhere. These men and women are not protesting. They are not peacefully protesting. They are trying to impede and obstruct ICE, and it makes the job that our men and women have to do virtually impossible to do without interactions like that. And yes, yesterday's shooting was a tragedy. And yes, we feel a ton of sympathy for the family and friends of the deceased. But make no mistake about it, this was entirely avoidable. If we had a governor, if we had a mayor, if we had leadership in Washington and over Minnesota that actually cared about their citizens, this would never have happened because there would be law enforcement on the streets helping ICE.
Mr. Blanche, I just want to stay on this. The local officials do say was a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry. The video seems to show at one moment an officer removing a gun in the seconds before Mr. Petty was shot. Was he disarmed before those shots were fired?
I do not know, and nobody else knows either. That's why we're doing an investigation. It does appear that he was armed. I have heard the same thing you have, that he was lawfully armed, and that's something that's important in this country, and there's nothing wrong with anybody lawfully carrying firearms. But whether he was disarmed or whether he pulled the gun on law enforcement, whether law enforcement saw him go for the gun. What they have to do is they have to protect themselves. They have to protect the public around them, and we'll see what happens. But just make no mistake about it. This was an incredibly split-second decision that had to be made by ICE officers confronting a very complicated, violent situation with not a single local law enforcement officer in sight.
Well, Alex Preddy, I mean, he is a member of the public. He's a resident there. I mean, this is an American citizen. He's an ICU nurse at a VA hospital. He appears to be shot some 10 times. There are a group of law enforcement officials who pummel him, who spray tear gas at him, pepper spray. Why shouldn't everyone be bothered by what they see in this video, Mr. Blanchard? Are you bothered by what you see in this video?
Absolutely. Every American should be bothered. But what should they be bothered by? They should be bothered that ICE is going on an isolated arrest to arrest a criminal, and they have zero support from law enforcement. The narrative here
shouldn't they be able to make decisions on their own, Mr. Blanch? You're talking about state and local officials, and that is a debate worth having. What, if any, support are they getting? But in that instance, should they be able to make a decision about how to respond on their own? And if they can't, should they not be in that position in the first place?
They make decisions all day, every day. There are 3,000 ICE officers in one city. We have tens of thousands of ICE officers all over the country. They make very difficult decisions all day, every day, trying to protect the American people. And what we see all over the country, save a few sanctuary cities like Minneapolis, is we see cooperation and support. And so the reason why we don't see this violence all over the country is because in every single jurisdiction, save a few, like Minneapolis, there's cooperation. You work together with local law enforcement. Police are there to assist with crowd control and rioters and the violent acts that we see happening. And again, this is not a peaceful protest. He was not protesting peacefully. He was interrupting an ICE operation.
Please finish.
He was interrupting an ICE operation, and that led to a very tragic occurrence that every single person in this country hoped did not happen. But make no mistake about it, you cannot look at a 10-second video and judge what happened. You have to look at it from a full situation of what's been happening in Minneapolis for the past several weeks, which is a simple fact. One city in this country do we have these problems. One city, and that's Minneapolis. It's not a reflection of ICE, that's a reflection of that city.
You're saying he wasn't protesting peacefully, and yet the video before shows him holding up a cell phone, directing traffic. The video after shows him being pummeled by these law enforcement. Everyone has now seen this video across the country with this man holding up a cell phone, and part of the outrage that people are expressing is that the federal government is asking them to believe something that they don't see with their own two eyes. Is that what the administration is asking of the American people, to believe that he was violent, when the video, based on what everyone has seen so far, does not show that?
Well, first of all, I did not say he was violent. I said he was not protesting peacefully. And you just described what every American has seen, which is video shortly ahead of the incident, where he was screaming in the face of ICE. He had a phone up right to right into ICE's face. You tell me, is that protesting peacefully? I mean, we all see the same thing. I mean, you shouldn't try to gaslight the about what happened. That was not a peaceful protest. And yes, what happened afterwards is tragic. It is horrible. It is heartbreaking. But make no mistake about it, that would have never happened. That would have never happened. And it doesn't happen in cities around this country every single day, but for the complete failure by the mayor and by the governor to do anything to protect their citizens. They park their officers blocks and blocks away while they just let ICE go, and they let citizens just come and do whatever they want to try to torment and to try to agitate officers doing their job.
Mr. Blanch, this shooting happened Saturday morning. Mere hours later, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and others labeled Mr. Preddy a domestic terrorist. His family released a statement that reads in part, quote, "The sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting. Alex is clearly not holding a gun when attacked by Trump's murdering and cowardly ICE thugs. He has his phone in his right hand and his empty left hand is raised above his head while trying to protect the woman ICE just pushed down, all while being pepper sprayed." What is your response to his family?
My response is that we have nothing but sympathy for the family of him. We do. But make no mistake, this is an investigation that's ongoing. And long before Secretary Noem took the stage yesterday, the mayor and the governor took their own narrative and said a bunch of things that were just as false and just as misleading and just as horrible as anything that we've heard over the past month. And so we will do everything that we need to do to protect men and women of ICE when the state and local government refuse to do so. And so, yes, we are sympathetic. President Trump is sympathetic. The Attorney General is sympathetic. ICE is sympathetic. Nobody wants any lives to be taken. But we're doing very in very difficult circumstances to make this country safe. There was an isolated arrest effort yesterday to arrest somebody that did not belong in this country. He's here illegally and he's a convicted felon. ICE should be able to do that with cooperation and support, not with what we saw happening yesterday.
Well, let me ask, just big picture, Mr. Blanche, is the death of U.S. citizens a price the Trump administration is willing to pay
for the safety of everyone else?
Its immigration policies?
What does that have to do with whether it was a U.S. citizen or not?
Right.
Death is
well, two of the deaths were U.S. citizens. Two of the people killed were U.S. citizens. President Trump said his goal was to deport the worst of the worst people. My question for you is this part of the collateral damage? Something that the administration is willing to accept as a part of its crackdown on people who are here illegally?
It shouldn't be. It should not be. And you don't see it anywhere in this country. I'm very confused about why the conversation is about what you're talking about instead of focusing on what really matters, which is why in one city, in one place do we have these problems. We deport 10 times the number of illegal aliens out of Texas than we do out of Minneapolis. Why do we hear nothing out of Texas about any of the same problems that we have in Minneapolis? I'll tell you why. Because in Texas, we have the cooperation and support of local law enforcement so that we can do these operations safely, keeping U.S. citizens and others protected and safe. That is not what we have in Minneapolis. And the fact that it's the administration that's being blamed for the utter failure of leadership in Minneapolis is not right, it's not appropriate,
and it's also not true. Are you saying those officers bear no responsibility, those federal officers who fired 10 shots yesterday bear no responsibility for the death of this 37-year-old ICU nurse?
I did not say that. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that. I said there's an investigation ongoing. But I said that the story and the narrative around this cannot be just of those officers that were forced to do what they had to do yesterday to keep the operation going as it should go without any support. That has to be the narrative. That has to be what we're talking about. And the fact that the only thing we're talking about is somehow blaming officers, blaming the federal men and that were on the scene that day, and not looking at why it happened, not looking at why it's only in Minneapolis that we see this violence, we are missing the narrative and missing what we should be talking about. That's
the broader backdrop debate. But let me talk to you more broadly about the actions of federal agents in Minnesota this week. I want you to look at these pictures, Mr. Blanche. A protester on the ground being pepper sprayed, a 5-year-old being detained, a U.S. citizen being pulled out of his home half naked, later released upon determination that he was wrongfully detained. Are federal agents acting humanely, Mr. Blanche?
Yes, our agents are acting humanely. Their jobs are very, very difficult. It is a very difficult place to be, going out and trying to arrest these violent felons with no support from local law enforcement, with no support from the governor. Remember, there's a much easier way to do this. When these violent criminals who are here illegally are ready to get out of prison, the mayor could just let us know. We could go get them from prison and deport them. They refuse to do that. And so the result of that is that ICE officers have to go out onto the streets and make arrests, and that is tough work. These are very difficult times, and it is something where you see thousands of arrests, and you've identified 2 or 3 things that are pointed to as being wrong or being too aggressive or not being appropriate.
Yes.
That's not fair to the men and women that are doing this every day.
Again, there are 600 police officers in Minneapolis compared to 3,000 ICE agents. I do want to shift gears, though. I want to ask you quickly about the Epstein files. When you were here back in December, you said the Justice Department will comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Quote, you said next week and the week after. DOJ is now 37 days past the statute's December 19th deadline. Less than 1% of the files have been released. So, Mr. Blanch, when will all of the Epstein files be released?
Look, we've been working literally 7 days a week to go through all the materials, but there is nothing more important than protecting the victims. And that means that every single page that we're going to release, we have to lay eyes on and make sure that we're redacting all appropriate information. We will not rush that process. We will not risk victim information being released. And I would hope that Congress doesn't want us to do that, and I would expect that they expect us to do our job. And so we have over 500 Department of Justice lawyers working on it every day. I expect that we will see the release of the materials soon.
So when will it be released? Soon? How soon?
Well, listen, there are millions and millions of pages we're looking at, and I'm not gonna create an artificial deadline that I then miss for our men and women. But we're working on it very hard, and when we know a date, the public know and let Congress know, but it is soon. It is very soon. We've been working on it now for over a month, reviewing hundreds of thousands of pages over the course of every few days, and we're continuing to do that.
All right, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanch, thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kristen.
When we come back, Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota joins me next.
Behind this couple's financial future is their advisor, who's building a portfolio designed to meet all their needs. And behind their advisor are Vanguard's institutional quality bond funds, powered by a deep bench of experts who have consistently delivered year after year. Fact is, 90% of Vanguard's active bond funds outperformed their peers over the last 10 years.
You can get behind that.
Are you backed by institutional quality bond funds? Vanguard. Discipline.
Okay, Richmond, give it free. The holidays are done.
No way they're done. We thought so too, Gary. But then Verizon just gave us their best deal.
4 new iPhone 17s, all on them.
You got anything under there for me?
It's a holiday miracle.
Best deals are still here. More 17s on us. No trade-in needed. And lines for just $25 a line.
I checked Allstate and saved hundreds on my car. Fortunately, I didn't check if doing the Georgia bark at my boss would be appropriate.
Go, dogs.
Yeah. So we need...
Check 'em.
It's not. Checking Allstate first was smart. Barking at my boss, dumb. At least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds.
Hey, Bark Boy.
These guys are crazy.
Sonia and Gerald trust Prevagen for their brains, and this is their story.
I'm Sonia.
And I'm Joe, and we live in Jacksonville, Florida.
We are both military veterans, and we provide dental care for underserved communities. We have a very busy life.
We take Prevagen for our brains.
I would honestly say I like the way that Prevagen makes me feel. At the end of the day, I feel confident and amazing.
Prevagen has been the #1 selling brain supplement nationwide for over 10 years.
Welcome back. Earlier this morning, I spoke with Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota. Thank you so much for being here. I know it is a somber weekend. This is the second of your constituents to be killed by federal law enforcement in Minnesota. What was your reaction to the video of the killing of Alex Preddy and the claims by the Trump administration that he posed a threat to federal officials, Senator?
I was absolutely horrified. There have been 3 killings in Minneapolis since the beginning of the year, and 2 have been committed by federal agents, one ICE and the other Border Control. That's what we're dealing with here, and they're also...
Well, I'm not giving ICE or Border Patrol another dime, given how these agencies are operating. Democrats are not going to fund that. The government will shut down if Republicans insist that that be joined with other government funding. It will be a Republican decision. They understand we're not going to go along with this. And we hope some of the Republicans in the Senate see those scenes in the streets and be as repelled as we are and vote against that continuation of violence also. But if they don't, it will be their decision whether they couple that funding for these ICE agents and Border Patrol agents with all these other government agencies. They will make the decision. They're in the majority if they want to shut down the government so they can perpetuate this violence. But I'm not going to be a part of it. And I think anyone who votes to give them more money to do this will share in the responsibility and see more American cities, more Americans die in our cities as a result.
Senator, let me ask you, because Republicans have already passed $170 billion in extra DHS funding through what they've dubbed the One Big Beautiful Bill, which would be legally available for the Trump administration to spend even if DHS funding lapses. So what would the exact impact be of withholding funding now?
Well, it would certainly, I hope, stop it from becoming even worse. They have thrown so much money at these agencies, they don't know what to do with it. And there is no question that when we actually get a chance to oversight again, which I hope will happen after this November, you're going to find all kinds of corruption how that money is going out. I have no question you will find sole source contracting going out to friends of people in the administration and money wasted hand over fist. They talk a good game about cutting down on waste and abuse. There is going to be enormous waste, fraud, and abuse in DHS, given how money is being spent without any kind of real oversight. So I wouldn't make the problem worse to begin with, but I would also overhaul those agencies. They need to be completely overhauled from top to bottom. That is going to require, at least at this moment, until there's a change in the majority in Congress, some Republicans of good faith to work with us to do it. Otherwise, we're going to have to rely on the tool that we have used before, which is litigation, and we will certainly be litigating over these abuses.
Senator, to that point, I want to ask you about something President Trump said. He said if Democrats win back the House, he expects to be impeached. You, of course, led the first impeachment against President Trump during his first term. What say you? Do you think, would you move to try to impeach President Trump if Democrats win back the House? Would you support that?
I would focus on the most effective remedies when that time comes that can stop the abuses that we're seeing throughout the federal government. So I don't want to judge what those tools will be, but there is no question that we are seeing rampant corruption and illegality from the top down, whether it's the corrupt meme coin schemes or the acceptance of massive gifts from foreign governments or all of the other corruption in this administration, all the crypto deals, the First Family, you name it. There is all kinds of corruption, and the worst form is the kind that is resulting in death in our streets. So there is going to be an accounting in one form or another when that time comes.
All right, Senator Adam Schiff, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. When we come back, we look back at how America's neighbors contemplated annexation fears. Our Meet the Press Minute is next.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, causing irreversible vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down and get it going slower.
Ask your doctor about Izervay.
Izervay, it's GA going slower.
Izervay is the #1 prescribed FDA-approved treatment for new GA patients. Izervay is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Do not use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression, which may help preserve your vision longer.
Izervay, it's GA going slower.
Slow your GA. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Are you a fiduciary?
Well, sure.
What about you?
Yes. At Fisher Investments, we take the fiduciary duty to a whole new level, doing right by our clients in all aspects of our business.
Do you make commissions selling products?
Well, yes.
In Fisher?
We don't sell any commission-based products because as a fiduciary, we believe that's a conflict of interest.
And how do your fees work? Let me explain. And Fisher?
We have a transparent fee structured so we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
I'm looking for some facts first.
Nothing's going to get solved if we can't talk about things.
That's what the news is supposed to do.
What's our why? Put simply, you are. You're why we connect neighborhoods to the news and news to your world. Why we dig deeper to educate as well as entertain. You're why we bring curiosity into classrooms, trust into every timeline, and the spark in every story. If it matters to you, it matters to us. Every program, every story, every day. The why behind WHYY is you.
There's a better way to buy a car, and it's here at Glanzman Subaru. You get more for your money with a lifetime warranty with any new Subaru purchase and 3 years of complimentary maintenance with any new Subaru lease. There's a better way to buy a car, and it's here at Glanzman Subaru. It's not just the car that matters. It's where you choose to do business that makes the difference. Glanzman Subaru in Willow Grove. It's different here.
Welcome back. As NBC celebrates 100 years on the air, our Meet the Press Minute looks back to U.S.-Canada relations. President Trump came into office threatening Canada, the 51st state, and this week he continued to ramp up his criticism of America's northern neighbor. The issue has been discussed before, including in 1977, when Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau joined Meet the Press, addressing concerns of possible annexation by the U.S.
Perhaps Canada, with this geographic proximity, same culture, same language, except for Quebec, parts of your country would like to annex itself to the United States. Would it be so bad for us?
Well, it might not be so bad for you. If some parts of Canada wanted to annex itself to you, it might be bad for that particular part of Canada, but that's another question. But by virtue of the same argument, if some want to annex themselves to you, some might not want to annex themselves to you. Some might feel that the business of being so friendly with the United States is not to their advantage, as has happened in this hemisphere with other countries. But I really don't want to speculate at any great length on this hypothesis, which in my view will not happen.
When we come back, the panel is next.
Known for pursuing your passions, no one wants to be known for cancer, but a treatment can be. Keytruda is an immunotherapy known to treat cancer. FDA approved for 18 types of cancer. One of those cancers is early-stage non-small cell lung cancer. Keytruda may be used with certain chemotherapies before surgery when you have early-stage lung cancer, which can be removed by surgery, and then continued alone after surgery to help prevent your lung cancer from coming back.
Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body during or after treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, nausea or vomiting, headache, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, persistent or severe muscle pain or weakness, muscle cramps, fever, rash, itching or flushing. There may be other side effects. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions, including immune or nervous system problems, such as Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, lupus, myasthenia gravis, or Guillain-Barré syndrome, an organ, tissue, or stem cell transplant, or receive chest radiation. Keytruda can harm your unborn baby.
See all the types of cancer Keytruda is known for at Keytruda.com and ask your doctor if Keytruda could be right for you. It's true, Keytruda.
From stinky diapers to stinky feet, odors can be caused by bacteria that linger in your air. Unlike air fresheners, Lysol Air Sanitizer eliminates odors by killing 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria in the air. Scent can't sanitize. Lysol can.
Behind this couple's financial future is their advisor, who's building a portfolio designed to meet all their needs. And behind their advisor are Vanguard's institutional quality bond funds, powered by a deep bench of experts who have consistently delivered year after year. Fact is, 90% of Vanguard's active bond funds outperformed their peers over the last 10 years.
You can get behind that.
Are you backed by institutional quality bond funds? Vanguard, discipline that delivers.
For NBC Nightly News, I'm Tom Yamas. Evenings on NBC.
I was driving, and that's when I was hit. My hands. That's where I was feeling the most pain. My hands are my voice. Once Morgan got involved, it was great. I was amazed. I was not expecting this kind of experience.
Love slots? The DraftKings Casino app's got you covered. They got tons of slots to choose from, like Cash Eruption, Cleopatra, plus new ones exclusive to DraftKings. All these options, I feel like a slot machine. Winner, winner, early bird dinner.
For a limited time, all players get a free chance at 50,000 in credits every day with daily rewards rocket on DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours.
We hit the jackpot. You mean we?
Be My Valentine, Diamond Hearts just $79, half-carat Diamond Hearts $199, 2-carat U&I pendants $8.99, 5-carat tennis bracelets $8.99, 1-carat natural studs $3.49. All guaranteed to appraise for double the Jewelry Exchange, Norristown.
Citadel's free Ultimate Growth checking account grows with you. You'll earn interest on the money in your account. It comes with tiered rewards. Plus, no monthly service fee. The best part? You'll start with a cash bonus up to $500. We're all in on growth. Join us and get growing today. Citadel, building strength together.
Welcome back. The panel is here. NBC News Chief Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles, Susan Page, Washington Bureau Chief for USA Today, Ashley Etienne, former Communications Director for Vice President Harris and Speaker Pelosi, and Republican strategist Matt Gorman. Welcome to all of you. Susan, let me start with you. Boy, this feels like an inflection point in Minneapolis and frankly for the country. What do you make of this moment?
I think we'll look back at this weekend as being a pivot point. In an era of smartphones, you don't need to believe either federal officials or reporters because you can see with your own eyes what happened on the streets of Minneapolis. We already saw 6 in 10 Americans saying ICE is going too far. And it was interesting in your interview with Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, he gave no signs that they are going to back off.
Right, Ryan, and to that point, what is Congress going to do about it?
Well, at each stage of this debate, Democrats have felt powerless, that there isn't much that they could do to stand in the way of the Trump administration's push on immigration. But this is unique in that there is a funding deadline at the end of next week. Democrats control almost all the power when it comes to this. The House passed all of their funding bills. They decided to package everything all in one big bunch. And there are a number of Senate Democrats, enough Senate Democrats saying, I'm going to vote no on this package, which is a direct shot at the Trump administration to change things and change things immediately. If they don't, we're very likely headed to a government shutdown, at least a partial government shutdown by the end of the week.
Matt, it's so interesting. The Vice President acknowledged mistakes have been made. To Ryan's point, the pressure from Democrats, but do you see anything changing?
Let's talk this out for a second. We're going to go headlong to a shutdown again with Democrats. ICE funding, as you point out in several of your interviews, will not really be touched operationally because that's what's funded for the big, beautiful bill. So they will, though, in the middle of the worst snowstorm we've had in years, defund FEMA. So good luck with that. But if you were to ask me 24 hours ago, I felt we were headed towards a path to de-escalation. I think the Vance visit was helpful, the meeting with Ellison. Now, look, I still think the way out of this, both in the Senate and Minneapolis, is one and the same. I expect still de-escalation. There'll be some performative stuff in the Senate, but some sort of agreement on detainers around, say, violent felonies and hard reset across the board. In a way, it simplifies it. The Senate way out and the Minneapolis way out is now joined and similar now.
Ashley, do you see de-escalation as a possibility, particularly when a number of Democrats are calling to actually get rid of ICE? Senator Klobuchar did not, notably.
I don't see it happening. I mean, you saw how dug in Blanche was earlier today, to Susan's point, but here's the real reality. There has got to be, someone has to rein in the lawlessness of this agency. They're terrorizing communities, kidnapping kids, executing American citizens on the streets and lying about it. The American people have been betrayed by their government, by their president, by the Republican Party that remains silent in this moment. Kristen, listen to this. Speaker Johnson, who proclaims to be a Christian, has said absolutely nothing and done even less on this particular issue. No statement, no oversight, no investigation. They're complicit in what's happening right now, and that's the real issue here. They want to, as much as they like to deflect blame, put it on Democrats, local law enforcement, they've got the blood of Renee and Alex on their hands, and so kudos to Democrats for having the courage to do it, and that's to hold this agency.
The backdrop to this, Ryan, the midterm elections.
Yeah, and that's got to be in the back of the mind of all these moderate Republicans who could have the type of ability to stand up to the administration either publicly or privately and say something has got to give. I'm the one that's going to be on the ballot here in the next 9 months. Mr. President, you're never going to be on the ballot again. You have to do something to give me an exit valve here because you had an issue like immigration, which was among the strongest issues for Republicans, heading now to a situation where it's becoming a net negative, especially if you're in somewhat of a swing district. So this is going to become a real problem for Republicans as this goes forward. And if it's caught up in this fight over government funding leading into this weekend, who gets the blame on that? That's something that's in the back of all of their minds.
Susan, how much of a drag do you see this in the midterms, or is it just the economy?
You know, we know that President Trump is capable of making a big U-turn on policy. Remember Greenland? But on this one, we don't see him doing that. On this issue, as Ryan said, so central to his appeal, and one that's becoming a negative. He is, so far, doubling down. Now, risk, I think, for Democrats, too. You saw in your interviews both Klobuchar and Schiff back away from the idea of abolishing ICE, which sounds a lot like defund the police. But the big risks here are with the administration, and they, so far, and of course.
What is the right message for Democrats who are trying to walk a fine line on that point?
I mean, I think it is what people saw with their own eyes. It is that you have a rogue agency that is not focused on deporting criminals, focused on terrorizing American communities. That's what's at play here. And so I think that is the strongest argument going to this fight. But I will say this, though. The way that we won 40 seats in the midterms in 18 was that we took the Colin Powell approach. It was overwhelming your enemy with decisive force. So the Democrats have to continue to hit Republicans and the president on all of these issues. He's double digits down on every issue from the economy to ICE.
Final thought for you, Matt. What do we see from Republicans? Do they run on immigration, or do they have to change course here?
The economy is the biggest issue we're seeing across the board in the midterms. There's opportunity cost for both parties if you're taking your eye off that. I mean, I was there at the NRCC in 2018. Healthcare was a millstone from almost the first weeks of the Trump presidency. It's much more fluid this time around. You're seeing some positive economic indicators. We'll see if that can continue. We laid a bet. We have to let it play out.
Yes, great conversation on a really big Sunday. Thank you so much for being here. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week because if it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Kristen Welker, The Press, every Sunday on NBC.
I've never experienced Snow Olympics. I'm just excited to see what my favorite part's going to be. Isabel Levito, figure skating, Philadelphia.
Ryan Cochran-Siegel, alpine skiing, Starksboro, Vermont. We all enjoyed skiing growing up, especially in Vermont, and that's where we got that passion and that drive.
The Winter Olympics, opening ceremony February 6th. Sponsored on NBC by your local Delaware Valley Honda dealers.
We're thrillionaires, so we know thrills. And FanDuel Casino's Rewards Club has thrilling rewards for all players at all levels. And exciting perks like Reward Box that make any day feel like a holiday. A rewards club that's actually rewarding. Now that's a holiday miracle.
Calling all trillionaires. FanDuel Casino.
Time and temperature sponsored by eBank, America's most convenient bank.
This is NBC 10 News.
The roads are horrible, so don't go out. It's been coming down like this for hours. It's really whiteout conditions here.
We're not seeing the plows being able to keep up with a lot of this.
It's going to be a long couple days, right? Unfortunately, yeah, it's been a while since we've had it like this.
This wind is no joke. Our ice forecast, this is the most concerning part.
A very dangerous situation with the ice that we're anticipating in many of our neighborhoods.
Really, I didn't believe the weatherman. He did say it was coming, but I didn't believe the weatherman.
Are you a believer now?
I'm a believer now, yes ma'am.
Snow has been falling for hours and it is starting to pile up in many places. Look at your screen. Live looks from our cameras in Allentown, Center City, Wilmington, and Cape May. You can see this storm is affecting every corner of our region right now.
Let's take you through it. Take a look at this from Route 45, Woodbury, Gloucester County. You can see a car there stuck, going nowhere fast. And we've been seeing this really all over the region. If you don't have to be out in this mess, stay home. Let's take a look at Plymouth Township, Montgomery County, where snowplows have been really trying to get it done. This is actually a look from the driver's view. So from a slow plow driver's view, you can see what they're against, trying to stay ahead of the rate of the snow that is falling.
And the wind is making an impact too. This was the scene earlier today in Center City. You can see the wind really blowing around the city. It's kind of going sideways there as crews are trying to keep the sidewalks clear.
A driver got stuck in the snow here in Delaware. This is Folk Road. Tim Furlong spoke with the governor of Delaware about 2 hours or so ago, live right here on the air. A level 2 driving restriction is now in effect. That means only essential personnel should be out on the roads. Unnecessary travel strongly discouraged, and you could be pulled over if your travel is not considered essential.
And we have deployed Storm Ranger 10. It is our mobile weather radar stationed right now at Wings Field in Bluebell, Montgomery County. This is a live look where it is part of the data our First Alert team is looking at to track this storm. Thank you for being with us this morning as we continue covering this major winter storm. I'm Brenna White.
I'm Erin Coleman. The snow started falling around 2 o'clock or so this morning. It's already brought several inches to neighborhoods all over the area. It is not over yet. Let's take you on the road right now in Bethlehem. Northampton County, tough conditions for drivers out there, and you can see the visibility not great, especially when it starts to stick to your windshield like that.
And we're seeing scenes like this all over. Meteorologist Marvin Gomez is tracking this storm. One big concern I know a lot of us have been worried about is the ice that is to come, Marvin.
That is correct. It's just a mess everywhere in our area with coming down. We're expecting also that transition over to a mix, which essentially means freezing rain to locations. I want to give you a very broad view of everything that is happening on the eastern half of the country, because folks on the eastern side of the Mississippi River were tracking this very large system, even bringing the threat for severe weather at the south. The Tennessee Valley right now getting that mix, and north of the Ohio River line, we're tracking the snow all the way into the Great Lakes, and yes, the snow even getting close to the international line with Canada. Locally, we're seeing snow right now in all of our neighborhoods. Of course, the heaviest of that coming down right now, mainly to the south and directly west of Philadelphia, all of Reading, the entire Lehigh Valley, the entire Garden State seeing some of the snow. And I'm getting the first few hints of that transition here to a mix, and that is near and around Dover. Meteorologist Justin Godnick is behind the scenes, and he's saying that he's already starting to see a few reports, a bit of that mix, some of those ice pellets getting a little bit closer to Philadelphia as well. Let me zoom in along the I-95 corridor, the metropolitan region. We're tracking a lot of the snow right now, moderate to heavy in a couple of spots, especially where you see some of the darkest blues here in western Philly, northeast Philly, all the way into Bensalem, the heavy snow coming here. And another location where I'm seeing some of the darkest blues, that is actually over towards Chester County, south of the Schuylkill, towards Parksburg, into Westchester, East Nottingham, and northern Delaware, Newcastle County, the heavy snow pressing here in this location with some of those snow rates at about 3 inches per hour. That's what we've seen so far in a couple of spots. Let me show you some of the most recent snow reports that I have here for you. Norristown already collecting almost 6 inches of snow, 5 in Chatsford, New Hanover Township at 5 inches, and more than 4 inches already here in King of Prussia. Northeast Philly reporting over 4 inches of snow as well. And some of the reports from about an hour ago in New Jersey also highlighting more than 5 inches of snow in Seaford, Burlington as well. So again, this is from an hour ago. I'm pretty sure these numbers, once we get an update, or if we were to get an update soon, those are going to be even higher. Check out the view here down Broad Street in Center City, Philadelphia. Vehicles slowing down because those treacherous road conditions continue. 15 degrees, that is our current temperature in Philadelphia, but the warmer air is gradually pushing in, not at the surface, high up in the atmosphere, and that is why ice concern, the freezing rain will be the main threat for the rest of this afternoon. You can see our icons here highlighting that threat for our region in Philly, but also across the Pennsylvania suburbs and throughout New Jersey. I'll show you the map, timing of this all coming up in a few minutes.
Marvin, thank you.
TV Live look outside right now. Atop Center City, you know, here and there we're seeing visibility get better. Sometimes it gets worse. You just got to stay with us. You can see Liberties 1 and 2 right here. Earlier today, you couldn't see it at all, but we're kind of getting waves of this stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. At about 10:30 this morning, Philadelphia Mayor Sherrell Parker and other city officials held a briefing about the city's response to this major winter storm. NBC 10's Neil Fisher was there. He joins us now along I-95 in Fishtown.
Brenna, good morning to you. The mayor emphasized and encouraged Philadelphians to use caution if they have to go out. Well, we just saw a spun out vehicle on I-95 South here in Fishtown. Take a look at the roads right now. We're following a PennDOT crew that is kind of acting as a train. The road conditions are actually okay, but just about 2 lanes. We saw a vehicle that tried to go outside of the 2 lanes, and that's where they ran into problems because snow is stacked up about 2 feet high because those plows are out here working. But the road conditions are okay right here in Fishtown on I-95 South. That mayor's press conference wrapping up about a half hour ago. The mayor said that the snow emergency will continue and that they don't have a time frame for when that will be lifted. Commissioner Bethel with the Philadelphia Police Department encouraged residents to adhere to those snow emergency routes and the restrictions that are in place, adding that more than 150 cars have been towed because they were parked along the snow emergency routes. And of course, snow plows were deployed this morning at 5 a.m. to fight the snow. They've been plowing for hours now. Take a listen to Director Carlton Williams when I asked him the effectiveness of salt in these conditions.
The operation, because we don't want to put salt down, plow it to the side, and it doesn't take effect. We need to keep trying to control the accumulation amounts. And that's why our teams are out there constantly. We have extra resources in higher elevations and areas that are around the city to try to keep pushing it down. So while you may not see clear roadways right now because of the accumulations, it's still beneficial for us and our plows because when we're ready to now lay salt, we will be near bare surface. That's when it's going to take effect.
And the city of Philadelphia also working with PennDOT to make sure that roads throughout the city of Philadelphia are passable. I spoke with PennDOT a few weeks ago. They tell me that they work on making these roads passable, not perfect. As you can see, everyone gives plows the space they need to work. The city is concerned with the sleet and freezing rain that's to come. We know of SEPTA's cancellations today at 2 p.m., but General Manager Scott Sauer added that delays and cancellations could linger into tomorrow. Mayor Parker encouraging Philadelphians to exercise caution and only go out if you need to. That's the latest from Fishtown. Neil Fisher, NBC News.
A good explainer there from city officials about what exactly is going on, why they aren't putting the salt down yet, and why you don't see bare road at this moment.
Makes sense.
All right, Neil Fisher, thank you for that.
Matt DeLucia is tracking what else we need to know about the roads in the Live Center. Matt?
Yeah, thanks, ladies. And we're also looking at power outages as well, because once we get some of that ice on the lines, that is when we can see a lot of problems here. So we have poweroutage.com here that's showing us an interactive map of the outages right now. 156 so far in Philadelphia. Bucks County really not seeing too many major issues right now. 55 outages in Montgomery County and 28 in Delaware County. I checked New Jersey and Delaware. So far, not seeing any major problems there just yet. Now, PECO, they are saying that, because of the damage to trees and tree limbs, that could also knock down those power lines, poles, and other equipment. So they're going to be very busy. Meantime, throughout our area, this is a live map of all of our crews. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, they are out in the elements, as you just saw in Neil's live shot there. But he also mentioned about SEPTA here. So again, At 2 o'clock, bus, regional rail, and the Metro G1 line will be suspended at 2 o'clock. PAPCO trains, they're running every 30 minutes, but with some delays there. And New Jersey Transit, right now the bus, light rail, and Access Link are suspended, but rail will be suspended at 2 o'clock as well. Getting back to SEPTA here, we did hear from SEPTA's GM, Scott Sauer, a little while ago when the city gave their update, and they again said that they will not bring back service until it is safe. Take a listen.
And I expect that we will have significant challenges through the week with the dipping temperatures that will keep this snow and ice around for a while. So if you do have to travel tomorrow, please expect that at a minimum there are going to be significant delays and trip cancellations.
So again, tomorrow is when we might see the update at the earliest of when things can possibly get back to some kind of normalcy, but again, we could see ripple effects throughout the week. Looking at the roads right now, there is a convoy of plow trucks making their way through the Schuylkill Expressway. We've already seen a lot of drivers getting stuck here, but we see a few cars out there, hopefully just essential workers at the moment, but other areas like 309 not seeing activity. That's the good thing there. No one out on the roads there from this vantage point, but again, keep space for the PennDOT plow crews to make their way through, try to clear everything as quickly as possible. But we're hearing from a lot of viewers on social media talking about how these side roads not passable at this time, and even some of the major roads are not passable. So we're going to keep our eye on this here in the live center. For now, ladies, we'll send it back over to you.
Yeah, speaking of which, Matt, one of our photojournalists, Manny Navarra, is driving in South Jersey, headed to Philadelphia, and you can see there's a lot of traffic there on Route 38 right now. Brett, you said this is Morristown, by the way? Looks like Morristown in Burlington County there. You can see things are pretty backed up. It looks like there's salt trucks or some sort of official vehicles there holding things up, but definitely a lot of traffic, and the roads are not completely clear, so you want to keep a lot of following distance, a lot of space between you and the other cars in front of you, and really take it slow.
Yeah, they're stuck behind that caravan of vehicles right there. Let's send it over to Siobhan McGurl, live in Camden County. Siobhan, the last time we saw you, you were in Gloucester County. You've been on the move, so what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, guys, right now we're in Camden County, right on the line between Lawnside and Barrington. I have to tell you, we traveled through some very difficult conditions to get here. All morning, we've been in Woodbury Heights. 45 is behind us. We took 45 up, got on the 295 on-ramp. I want to show you some video here. As soon as we got on the on-ramp, people piled up on that on-ramp, and a car was stuck at the front of the on-ramp. There's a big backup there, very dangerous, right as they went onto the highway. Thankfully, a tow truck came by. They were able to help that car get out. I talked to the tow truck driver. He said that was like one of 15 cars they saw that, having to help get them off the highway. Here in New Jersey is under a state of emergency, and there's an emergency order lowering speed limits to 35 miles per hour on some of the major roads, including 295. But you can see with that scene there, those crews were telling me that they've seen cars going 60, 65, urging people to stay off the roads. A very difficult situation we encountered there. And I just spoke with someone back live here, where the Wawa White Horse Pike is behind us, and he came over to us and said, "Hey, on busy time, we're watching you guys this morning." He goes, "I just got off 42. Same thing that we saw on 295, he saw on 42. So difficult conditions here. If we come back out live to the shot here at the Wawa, you can see they have their private contractor here right now, plowing through the parking lot, making sure these spots are clear. We see one of the public works crews over here. They stopped off for some coffee. So again, these essential workers who are out on the roads, everyone else being urged to stay off. Let's give you a live look at the White Horse Pike. You do see some blacktop there. That's because as soon as we pulled up, we saw a caravan of plow crews coming through, plow trucks coming through and clearing this area. Difficult to keep up, though. The snow continues to fall, and in fact, right now we're starting to see more sleet. John, I don't know if you can zoom into my gloves, if you can kind of see the ice pellets hitting my gloves here, but we're starting to see some of that changeover that our meteorologists have talked about with these ice pellets gathering on my glove. Let me just get you a quick snow measurement here. Over in Gloucester County, we were about, I think, 5 inches when I left. And yeah, about 5 inches here in Camden County. Again, guys, I can't stress it enough. Dangerous conditions out there on the road from 295 to 42. And the crews, they continue to try to keep up with it. Ernie, I'll send it back to you.
Siobhan, thank you. Thankful for all those crews who are out there working to make sure we're all safe.
Around the clock. Hey, we are continuing to track the impacts of this major winter storm around the region. Let's give you a live look. Broad Street, Center City, Philadelphia. You can see a couple of people standing out in the median there, walking across the street. You know, glad that they're on foot. We only see a couple of cars here, so we'll take that. Just heed the warning that we've been giving you all morning long. You don't have to be out there on the roads, no matter where you are, in Center City, down the shore, in the PA suburbs. Just stay home, stay off the roads. Several snow emergencies have been declared across our area as well. The majority of our region could see 10 inches of snow or more, but the storm will eventually transition to sleet and freezing rain, which raises the threat of downed trees and power outages. You just heard Siobhan McGurl showing us how it already is starting to change over, at least where she was in Camden County. SEPTA says regional rail and bus service will be suspended starting today at 2 o'clock. So a little over 2 hours to go for that. Service suspensions on New Transit. They've already started. Checking the airport, 643 flights have been canceled already at Philly International Airport. That's flights in and out of the airport. That's according to FlightAware.
You saw Siobhan showing us that sleet that was bouncing off of her gloves. That was one of the big concerns our meteorologists had, that the snow was going to turn into ice and sleet and it could weigh down power lines. Let's bring in Matthew Rankin with PICO. He joins us live. Thank you for being with us. You know, this is a big day for your agency for sure.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your process, what your workers are all doing. I'm sure they're out there busy making sure that they can keep power running as much as possible for all their customers.
Yeah, so we have crews, additional crew staffed ready to go. Our own PICO crews, contractors we hire, and also additional support from our sister operating company, ComEd in Chicago, who sent out additional crews to the Mid-Atlantic region to support the Philadelphia area, ACE in Atlantic City, Delmarva in Delaware, as well as BGE in Baltimore, and Pepco in Washington, D.C.
So at this point, in a lot of areas, the snow is still falling. We haven't quite seen that transition widespread over to the sleet and freezing rain. So are your crews at this point, are they kind of in a standby mode, waiting, kind of fanned out in different areas? Talk about the logistics of the operation a little bit.
Yeah, so we only have currently about 25 outages at the moment, which is pretty minimal for our service territory, affecting 758 total customers out of 1.7 million. So currently our process is to address public safety or life-threatening issues such as down power lines immediately, and then move on to our larger infrastructure like our transmission lines and substations. And then after that, our crews will pivot over to our distribution lines, secondary lines, and neighborhoods, and then individual homes.
Are they strategically placed just around the region right now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, we do have crews placed, all throughout the counties in the Philadelphia area, strategically ready to respond to any potential outages.
Matthew Rankin with PICO, thank you for joining us and for that insight. Good luck to all your crews who are out there.
It's going to be a long day, you know it. All right, let's head to the Pennsylvania suburbs. This is a live look right now. King of Prussia from our Valley Forge tourism camera, and you can see the snow continues to fall here as well.
I know, when we first got in here at 3 a.m., it was already falling, and it has stayed consistent. NBC 10's Katie Zachary is live in King of Prussia. You've been out there all morning long, making lots of friends along the way, Katie.
Yes. You know, unfortunately, here in the Wegmans parking lot, I've made a lot of friends, but they're camera shy, so they don't want to share their thoughts with you. So instead, I'll tell you what they're telling me. They are saying, as we show you, this oasis that is open, Wegmans in King of Prussia is open. We're seeing a few cars here, people who live admittedly not far, able to drive a short distance. We're seeing more people who are walking here from the town center area in King of Prussia and the apartments that are within walking distance. As we spin it around and I go over the snowbank here, I want to take you to our windshield wipers specifically. This is what we've seen in the last 30 minutes, the changeover. I don't know if you can hear and see, but instead of just that soft, fluffy snow, we're getting ice.
Looks like we lost Katie's shot there, but you know what? Look what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the elements. It is, bone-chillingly cold out there right now. We've got the wind to contend with, we've got the snow to contend with, and it's switching over in some spots already to that freezing rain.
I know, and you can see that ice in a lot of our live reporter shots. That is something that meteorologist Martin Gomez has been tracking, something that we knew was coming and kind of is almost a bigger concern than the snow was, right?
That is correct, because we're looking at some ice that will start accumulating on tree branches and on any elevated surfaces, and those are going to add that's going to add extra weight, and those can easily come down, leading to power outages. The reports have not been too noticeable so far, but we still have the rest of the afternoon. I want to show you this graphic winter storm impacts, and I have checked and marked some of the items here that have already happened, and you've heard it from authorities, you've heard it from people on the field talking about this system. Major travel delays. That's going to be the messaging, not just today that we're dealing with the precipitation, but even tomorrow and perhaps heading into Tuesday as well. And that's because this is a system that's impacting multiple states. We already got the snow. Now we're making that transition. So I will be checking this box here in a minute or so, as we're going to not only have the transition over to sleet, but also freezing rain, and our coastal communities will encounter the rain as well. Of course, with all of that ice, it is going to be easy for anybody to fall outside. So just be very careful, even if you step outside after the precipitation has come to an end. It is already cold. You don't need me to tell you that. And that's going to be the main theme for most of the upcoming work week as well. This is our live scan, the latest radar scan out of New Jersey. And you can actually see some of the heavy precipitation or snow right now coming down from Redding and locations farther to the south. The radar is actually scanning some of the snowflakes near and around the city. But I do have reports already that closer to Philadelphia, we have made that transition. So there is definitely a little bit of that warmer air already in place near the I-95 corridor. A powerful tool. You have heard us talk about it all morning long, Storm Ranger 10. I want to show you that live scan as well, because it is currently located near Norristown, and Storm Ranger 10 is giving us a better view of what we have happening at the moment across Montco, across Bucks County, and even in Philadelphia. We're getting a nice reading of that moderate to heavy snow coming down, and of course it is going to be displaying the transition as well as we head into the afternoon, a transition over to sleet. Look at our cameras. The snow is coming down heavy right now in Allentown. We have wintry weather, snow all in Bucks County, New Hope, Pennsylvania, and down at the shore visibility also low because of the snow that is coming down, and that's going to be one of the spots that will end up with the rain as we get into the afternoon. 2 o'clock future radar here highlighting rain essentially in Atlantic City into Cape May, southern Delaware, dealing with the rain. But this is the area that I'm concerned about, the pink. This is going to almost stay stationary for the rest of the afternoon. Notice how I advance the clock and the pink doesn't go away. That's that sleet and freezing rain threat that we're watching along the I-95 corridor, stretching as far northwest as Redding and Allentown, closer to 5 o'clock. And of course, even beyond dinner time, the pink is still here, and we're noticing a little bit more in the way of rain from Vineland into Tabernacle and across most of Ocean County as well. But Trenton, Philly, and Wilmington, it's all about the cold air that will remain in place. Precipitation should come to an end closer to 11 o'clock at night. I mentioned the ice is likely going to be the big threat. This is going to add extra weight for those that are going to be shoveling on trees and power. Mean potential for power outages is widespread across the region. As we get close to 3 o'clock this afternoon, locations near the west already collecting about a quarter of an inch of ice, and this particular model highlights that ice accumulation could be greater, but just be mindful that thinnest layer of ice on the road is already dangerous. We don't need a quarter of an inch of ice. We don't need half an inch of ice. Even the thinnest layer is dangerous itself. And yeah, notice the numbers. It's all in the 20s. We're going to stay below freezing, no melting in the upcoming days. Ladies.
All right, Marvin, thank you. We continue to track this winter storm. A live look now at Broad Street. As you can see, it is covered in snow right now. Not too many cars on the road, and we want to keep it that way. Definitely dangerous to be driving, so if you don't have to, please stay home. We'll be right back with more coverage of this winter storm from all over our region in just a few.
I've never experienced an Olympics. I'm just excited to see what my favorite part's going to be. Isabel Levito, figure skating, Philadelphia.
Ryan Cochran-Siegel, alpine skiing, Starksboro, Vermont. We all enjoyed skiing growing up, especially in Vermont, and that's where we got that passion and that drive.
The Winter Olympics opening ceremony February 6th. Brought to you locally on NBC by NJM Insurance. NJM, no jingles or mascots, great insurance.
In southeastern Pennsylvania, community is everything. It's where we live, work, and fight for what's right. With offices across the area, HGSK Lawyers is right here in your neighborhood, ready to help you with your personal injury claims. We're not just your lawyers, we're your neighbors. Communities trust us to fight insurance companies for them, whether it's car accidents, work injuries, or Social Security claims. And win. Visit hgsklawyers.com to schedule a free consultation. HGSK Injury Lawyers, your hometown injury lawyer.
Hey, New Jersey, open enrollment is here. Now's the time to get quality, affordable health insurance from Get Covered New Jersey. Shop and compare plans to find the one that best fits your life. All plans include free preventive care, coverage for prescriptions, emergency care, and more. 8 in 10 people qualify for financial help to lower costs, and free local assistance is available if you need help enrolling. Don't wait. Enroll by January 31st at getcovered.nj.gov. Getcovered.nj.gov.
I slipped. They rushed me to the hospital, to the emergency trauma unit.
I felt I was in a lot of pain. The MRI showed that I actually had a torn ACL and meniscus.
I applied for disability. They denied me. I ended up calling Morgan & Morgan, and they took my case.
They ended up getting me 20 times more than what they offered.
My check came in. It was the most zeros I'd ever seen. I was so shocked.
100%. You guys are for the people.
This is NBC 10 News.
Welcome back to NBC 10's continuing coverage of this major winter storm that is bearing down on the area. Let's get down the shore. This is a live look from our camera at the Hard Rock Hotel and Resort in Atlantic City. We saw snow start falling along the coastline here around 2 o'clock this morning.
Let's get to NBC 10's Lili Zhang. She has been down the shore all day, and she is live in Ventnor now. Lili.
Yeah, Brenna, Aaron, a lot of businesses around this area, as you can imagine, they're closed today. We've still seen some people out and about, maybe walking to where they need to go, but we've seen a lot more people in the past hour getting out of their homes, starting to shovel as much as they can, getting their cars all cleaned off. But of course, we know that it's going to be a very, very long day of that. Now, if you guys can follow me over here, I just met this gentleman. His name is Peter. Now, Peter, thank you for sharing your time. I don't want to take up too much of your time. How's your day going?
I'm sorry?
How is your day going?
It's beautiful, thank you. Can't beat this, right?
I take it you're a fan of the winter?
I love it. All the winter, high heat, summer, all love to be outside.
Awesome. I spoke with one of your neighbors earlier who mentioned that right now the snow, as you can see here, is very light and fluffy.
It was fluffy earlier, and it's getting a little wet because of the rain.
Yeah, so is that kind of your strategy? While it's fluffy and light, let's go ahead and
I got out early so it was nice and fluffy and light. So now it's raining. It's getting heavier, that's all.
Have you had to come out multiple times?
Yes, exactly. Every couple hours so far. And you can see what this is. Yeah, I've been out here every 2 hours. Look, this is what it's like now. So it's good. This is the biggest snow years.
Have you had to dust off your car a lot?
Yeah, yes, absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. Well, stay safe, sir. Stay warm. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, so you heard it from him. That's an idea for some folks. They can shovel it while you can instead of giving yourself a lot of work when it's really, really heavy snow and ice later on. For now, reporting live, we'll send it back to you.
The right idea. He's bent the knees, too. I like that. Thanks, Lili.
We can hear that sleet there in Lili's live picture. Let's now head to Delaware. Live look from our camera in Wilmington so you can get an idea of what we're dealing with. I mean, this is a major highway here. You can see, and visibility not as bad as it was a little earlier today, but definitely not a good time to be on the roads.
Tim Furlong has been all over the first state this morning. He joins us now in North Wilmington.
Yeah, not technically allowed even to be on the roads in Delaware unless you're an emergency vehicle, things like that, but you get the drift. But yeah, you can see how much snow we got here. This is the snow amount. This is, down to the ground. So 7, 8 inches, maybe something like that. But now you can kind of see bouncing on my jacket there, those little ice crystals. That's what it's doing now. It's been sleeting for about 20 minutes now, and it's kind of making that little cakey little frosty layer on the top of the snow. It's going to make it a little harder to shovel for those of us who have to go home and shovel later. If you were smart and did what everybody said you should do, you're kind of shoveling as it has gone on a little bit. Come in, get dry, warm up, go back out and do it again. So you're doing it here and there, but just smaller little doses of shoveling. But I want to talk to somebody real quick here. Guys, I got to ask you real quick. We have just a couple seconds left. What's it been like out here? Is the sleet ruining the fun, or is it still fun?
Not at all. It's still fun. Look at these guys. They're having a blast.
You guys look like you're having a blast too, as the adults too. It's not so bad, right? And of course, no school tomorrow, right? Y'all heard that, right? No school tomorrow. And if your school says they have school, just tell them I said it's okay. You don't have to go anyway. So great day for sledding. But yeah, you can see out here at this point, it's gotten a little bit windy. It's not the fluffy, powdery snow anymore. It's sleeting now, which isn't quite as fun for sledding, but everybody obviously still having a blast. We're live in Wilmington. Tim Furlong, NBC 10 News.
Oh, see that's what this is all. You see those little rosy cheeks there?
I know.
Oh my
big smile.
gosh, I love it. Thanks, Tim.
Right now, the snow is piling up as a major winter storm dumps inches of snow around our region. All that snow is causing some really dangerous driving conditions. People have been urged to stay off the roads, but we have seen it right here. Several cars trying to drive through the snow, getting stuck on the side of highways and roads.
And it's not just the snow that people have to be concerned about. Several neighborhoods, and we're starting to see more and more of them, are watching that transition from snow to sleet and freezing rain. That could cause icy roads and widespread power outages.
Let's take a live look at First Alert Radar. Our team of meteorologists are staying on top of the storm to bring you the latest impacts, neighborhood by neighborhood.
Thank you for being with us for this continuing coverage of this winter storm. I'm Erin Coleman.
And I'm Brenna White. It has been a long time since our region has seen a snow event like this, and we will be here to help you get through it. Let's give you a look at some of the images we've been seeing from all across our area. Snow is blanketing the region, as you noticed. A look at driving conditions earlier in Bethlehem, Northampton County. Windshield wipers almost couldn't keep up with it.
All right, here's a tip here. If you're heading out, build in some extra time to clear off your car. This is a look at our NBC 10 photographer, Matt Schaefer, clearing off snow and sleet off one of our news vehicles. It takes some time, so remember, you need to clear the snow off of your hood and the roof before your car hits the road. You don't want it blowing back on the cars behind you.
Right. Here's the snowy scene from earlier this morning in Newark, Newcastle County. If you are driving in some areas, be extra careful. It might be hard to tell where the street ends and the curb begins. If you do hit a curb, could do some serious damage to your car. Hard explaining that one away, right?
Oh, yeah. Let's get over to NBC 10 meteorologist Brittany Schiff. Brittany, you've been telling us all morning long that we're going to see a changeover from the snow to the sleet and the freezing rain. Some areas starting to see that.
Right, that's exactly what we're seeing. So we're going from the heavy snow to more of a changeover, and that's going to lead to that dangerous ice threat. We have also been adding up some of your snowfall totals. They are now ranging all the way up to 8 inches. I'm sure we'll see a little bit more than that as well. Here's our radar shot. All snow until you get to parts of South Jersey and the central and southern parts of Delaware. This pink that's entering into our region, this means we are finally starting to see that changeover. So it is beginning right on time for us, actually. We were forecasting about 11 a.m. where we're going to start to see this tracking to the north, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So for the shore, the prediction would be 11 a.m. basically now, which is noon, until 4 p.m. Now for Philadelphia in the next hour or so, that will continue picking up. And once it starts, it's going to go all the way until 9 p.m. So a lot of the heavy snow that we're seeing is going to start mixing in with the sleet and then potentially that freezing. Suburbs, we have another to change over until about 10 p.m. and then for Burke 6 p.m. So that's going to be the bullseye in terms of our snowfall, because there'll be a few more hours where they'll continue to see snow accumulating. In terms of our ice forecast, because we're going to see such a long duration event with the mixed precipitation of sleet and freezing rain, we do have a significant risk for ice accumulation further north and west, and also right along the shoreline. It's light as well, because we'll also see our temperatures rising to 40 degrees along the shore and more rain at the back end of the system. But this in-between zone here, this I-95 corridor, this is where we are forecasting the potential for a significant accumulation of ice, which would place us over ½ an inch. And when that happens, you have tree damage, you have prolonged power outages. Even if you have a light glaze, that is still dangerous. That creates icy conditions on the roadways, dangerous driving conditions. When you see moderate, which will have the range between light, moderate, and significant, now you have the broken tree branches and, again, the minor power outages. So looking at that map overall, you can range anywhere between light, moderate, or significant ice accumulations. Now let's look at our hour-by-hour breakdown here and show you. We'll continue to see widespread precipitation. Nonetheless, by 4 o'clock, it is still snow coming down for Allentown and also Reading. Look right along the shoreline. Look at that temperature, 37 degrees for Cape May in Atlantic City. That's going to be plain rain. But this area of pink just stays with us hour after hour after hour going into tonight. And that's where we're going to have our best chance to see the ice accumulating. How much snowfall are we expected to get? We have the range of 8 to 12 inches. So we're already starting to see that 8-inch marker. And then if you're closer to Reading, Allentown, you're still ranging between 12 and 18 inches, 5 to 8 for Vineland, and then right along the shoreline, 3 to 5. So we're looking pretty good in terms of our snowfall forecast. All of the inches are adding up, and next up we are tracking that ice threat. So we'll have more details on that coming up in just a bit. Neil.
All right, Brittany, thanks for that. Yeah, you mentioned Neil, right? He is in one of those areas that's notorious for slip and slide around, especially in weather like this. Manayunk, Roxborough has a lot of those hills. Neil, what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, we're actually turning onto Leverington Street right now. Take a look at what the conditions are like. We've seen the plows coming through here quite a bit. Some of the area looks good. Some of the area doesn't look so good. We've also seen a lot of people out. I actually just posted a video on my social media about a couple that is out cross-country skiing through Manayunk. We also saw quite a few people out running through Main Street in Manayunk, which is, I guess, good if you want to get some exercise in and if you're staying warm as well. Obviously, there are plenty of private contractors and other city crews out here plowing the snow and putting that salt down as well. One thing that we have noticed over the last half hour or so is the transition to sleet in this area. We haven't seen the snow fall like we did early this morning. We've seen more of the sleet. You can really hear it hitting the car as well. So one thing we're starting to see is more of these private contracting crews start to dump salt down once they have got that layer of snowfall out of the way. We were actually just at the mayor's press conference about an hour ago, and that's one thing that they mentioned. They were trying to get rid of all the snow on the ground before they put that salt down. As you can see, a lot of folks out shoveling as well, making sure that their sidewalks are clear. One thing that we have noticed is a lot of people are walking through the street. So if you're out driving, take your time, be cautious of people out actually using the roads as their walkway because that snow continues to pile up on the sidewalks and not all of it has been treated just yet. So that's kind of what we're seeing right here in the Manayunk Roxborough area. The cross-country skiers are having a field day out here today, guys.
I mean, if that's your thing, good day for it.
They're trying to find the fun where they can, right?
I know, I love that.
All right, thanks for that, Neil. Let's send it over to Matt DeLucia standing by in the live center.
And we're watching a lot of live pictures, more pictures that you've been sending in. So we have crews throughout the area. Let's go ahead and show you a video here. We're getting a lot of pictures and videos of dogs and animals having fun in the snow. So Sydney sent this video in of Minnie having fun in another big snowfall. And it's not just the dogs, you got the cats too. Devin Heat Polo is ready for the snow. He's hoping his mommy has off from school tomorrow. Very cute outfit there. Rena sent this in of her son, who's 20 years old, just shoveled all the snow, 6 inches of snow right there. Congratulations. I think there might be a little bit more shoveling to come here. This young man as Uncle Eddie from National Lampoon, so we got people just enjoying the snow in every way possible. And from the city to the shore here, this is what it looks like in Brigantine. Very nice and picturesque. And then Danielle sent us this video, or this picture of her daughter Leah out in the snow this morning. And speaking of all these kids, we also got a video, a very cute video from a young girl in South Jersey who I think might be a good future meteorologist. Take a look.
Make sure you stay safe and don't go on the road because they might be icy and not safe. Let's measure how much snow is in America.
All right, Brittany Ship, watch out because I think this young lady might be taking your job soon. You got to watch out because she said that she had 2 inches of snow over there in South Jersey. So yes, a future just in the making. Come back here again. Seeing a lot of your pictures here. Here's Mason, Alex, and Mia playing in the snow. Be sure to go to the NBC 10 app or NBC10.com. Go to the See It, Share It section, and we're getting flooded with all of the wonderful photos and videos, and we'll try to share as many as we can right here in the live center. And yes, please be safe while you're doing it, ladies.
I can't with all the cuteness.
It's awesome.
She pulled out the ruler, the tape measure.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
She's an expert already.
She's got it. She's got what it takes. Thanks, Matt.
We will continue back this major winter storm in just a few minutes, but first here's a live look at Cape May Beach Avenue, and a different situation than we saw earlier this morning. It was snowflakes falling. Now look, seems to be that freezing rain that's turned over. A couple of people are walking along the promenade there, a couple of cars. Looks like the road is passable, but that is not the situation in many parts of our region. Just be careful if you have to head out today. Make sure you heed those warnings.
Why should I get my forecast from NBC 10? We're the most accurate. It's not my opinion, it's just a fact. Most accurate 10 years. in a row, certified by WeatherRate, a third-party analyst who compares everyone's forecast to what actually happens. That's 10 years of protecting you. Whether it's convenient, we treat every storm the same because we don't want to let you down, and we don't plan on it. Reliable, prepared, accurate. NBC 10 First Alert Weather is coverage you count on.
Tastes like money. To Oliver, eating here instead of buying a stadium hot dog is like putting away $20. If Oliver sees sandwiches as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo's right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. Whoops. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
My husband and I was in the rideshare. The driver wasn't paying attention and he hit the vehicles in the front of him. I had to have a surgery where they had to go to the front of my neck to get to the back with 3 plates in my neck. I was out of work, didn't know how I was going to pay anything. We called Morgan & Morgan and they did not fail us. I really appreciate you because if it wasn't for you guys, I don't know where I would be right now. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Oh, we've been saying it all morning long. If you don't have to be out on the roads, it really is best to stay at home, stay warm and cozy. This is a live look right now at the Schuylkill Expressway, 676 in Center City. I
Can't even tell.
I say that with a question because it's like, is that really it? Yes, it is.
The roads are treacherous already, as you've seen in a lot of the live pictures around town. Let's get an update with PennDOT spokesperson Chris Johnson. Chris, do you have an update since we last talked to you? I think it was about 2 hours ago.
Sure. So we continue to have that snow coming down and with some icy precipitation as well. Because this storm was forecasted as snow first, we did have operations start with salt brining and so forth. That started this past Friday. So that just kind of brings the freezing point down, the asphalt pavement down to about 20, sometimes as low as 15. And with a big storm like this, it really creates a buffer from the snow that gets packed down and the pavement itself. So it's allowing our plow trucks to really come through in one pass and push everything away. So you'll see that our plow trucks, they'll be out there until this system is gone and continue.
We have things they doing, or they're all hands on deck.
The crew is doing really well. They're trained in this, they're used to it, but certainly it's long days for them. You know, we really ask that you, when you do see those snowplows out on the road, to make sure that you are staying a safe distance away from them, at least 6 car lengths, makes their job easier too. And it certainly seems like a lot of people have been listening to the messaging going out there about not traveling today if you don't have to, because we certainly have a significant less traffic on our roadways than we do normally on a Sunday. So that's really helpful for our crew to get their job done as safely and efficiently as they come out to.
And right now, we have other restrictions in place. Earlier today, you were talking, I think, about a Tier 4 restriction, no commercial vehicles, and also some speed limit restrictions. If people do need to head out, if they're essential workers, what do they need to know?
We still have those Tier 4 restrictions in place. That means no commercial vehicles are permitted. Additionally, school buses, commercial buses, motor coaches, motorcycles, RVs, motorhomes, and passenger vehicles towing trailers are not permitted on affected roadways while restrictions are in place. Also, District 6, which encompasses Bucks, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery, and Philadelphia counties. This morning, we put in a reduced speed to 45 miles per hour on our local roads, which include U.S. routes 1, 30, 202, and 422. So those are in effect, and they will stay in effect until it warrants them to remove the restrictions.
Kind of a technical question here. So we started with the brine. They've been plowing. When will the salt come out? Will it come out after everything is done, or when does the salt come out?
The salt is out. I mean, that is something that they have completely pre-treated with. Now, certainly, salt does need about 20 degrees and warmer temperatures in traffic to impact that to make it easier to remove. But that brining and salt has come out before this winter event started to pre-treat. And also, there was a lot of residual anti-icing material still on the roads from our previous storm. So we're well treated. It's just now we're in the midst of this, and our plows need to come in and start removing the snow.
All right, Chris Johnson with PennDOT, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate all of the insights and that advice for people to stay off the roads if they can, and especially to give those plow workers their space.
Yeah, thank you. They've got a long day, a couple of days ahead of them. Chris Johnson with PennDOT. All right, let's move on here to something that you're going to see and hear all afternoon. Can't quite hear it right now, but trust us, that snowblower's on.
Use your imagination.
Yeah, it's getting to work. Certainly a lot easier than trying to shovel all of that snow. So if you've got a snowblower and it's working, you are lucky. All the snow makes for the perfect snow angels too. Take a look at Asher. This is little Asher, West Hampton, Burlington County. He put on his heavy winter coat. He's got on his boots. And he made the most of his first big snowfall. Love to see it.
I know Katie said she had a hard time making a snowman because it was such light, fluffy snow. Perfect for a snow angel.
There you go.
If we see Katie again, perhaps she'll give it a go. Let's head to Delaware, though, first. This is a live look from our camera in Wilmington. As you can see, definitely not a good day to be on the roads. And specifically in Delaware, they've got some restrictions in place. Tim Furlong was talking to the governor earlier today.
All right, let's check him out. He's in North Wilmington now. Hey, Tim.
Hey guys, I'm in the city of Wilmington now. We were just at the sledding hill like 5 minutes ago. We got over here real quickly. You can see off of Union Street, streets not plowed, not looking good. If you come over to Union Street here though, you can see also a little bit plowed, but still not great though. So be very careful. And again, there's a level 2 driving restriction. So careful if you have to go out. If you're a person that should be out on the roads. Not everybody's supposed to be on the roads. And I want to say too, we saw people on the sides of the road earlier, and people pointed out when we said they shouldn't be out driving that maybe they are a medical professional. Maybe they were supposed to be out, but either way, that might be true. But have a plan. Maybe don't drive the vehicle that you think you can get away with, because this is not a Corolla and Civic day. This is an SUV truck kind of day. So be very careful. Most places in Delaware are closed, but not Rocco's, baby. This is like a neighborhood bar. Come on down. Chris, what made you guys say, you know what, we're going to open up today?
We're a big neighborhood bar. We got a lot of people that can walk here, myself included, staff included. Just love us.
I was going to say, have you seen a crowd? I mean, are you just opening up?
Just opening up. Yeah, we just opened up around probably 20 minutes ago.
So you're going to get the lunch crowd. You're going to get people that can just walk down here. Because this area down here, Little Italy, up near St. Anthony's in Wilmington, this whole neighborhood here, Woodlawn area, you can just kind of come on down.
Correct.
And full menu, or what are we doing
Full
here?
menu. Hot soup. Come and get it. Large pizzas.
Is it fun? I mean, do you find this sort of fest? I mean, obviously, it's a lot of work. You guys clean it up and everything.
I do. The cleaning is obviously being passed on to other people. I'm thankful for it. But I don't mind the walk. I don't. I really don't. It's nice. I don't mind the weather. Don't mind any of it.
Well, we might come in for some of that soup or one of your cheesesteaks. I heard they're pretty good. So, yeah, thanks, Chris, for talking to us. Appreciate it. But you can see here, like, this is the kind of level of snow that we're talking about here that we have in Wilmington. I mean, it's not, a ton of snow, but it's getting heavier by the minute. It's really getting to the point with all this sleet that's falling down now. And again, I keep going back to showing you on my jacket here. This is the best way to see it on a black jacket. That's not snow hitting my jacket. Look at it bouncing off. That's little pellets of ice. So that's what we're dealing with here in Wilmington. Again, you're not really supposed to be out driving. Be careful if you do, and if you have to, you are allowed to, and you do. And again, there are some neighborhood spots that are still open if you're willing to walk through the snow. And I got to tell you, it's not super windy out here. It's really beautiful out here to walk. So if you live near a place you can walk to safely, it's kind of charming. And also some of these local businesses, especially restaurants and stuff, they need business last night, tonight, maybe tomorrow again. So they need your business. They need your support, because a day or two off of making money is a big deal for small businesses. So maybe throw them a little love, guys.
Yeah, we're all bonding, right? I want some soup. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Absolutely.
Come and get it.
He said, hot soup, come and get it. Just walk to us.
The safest way. All right, Tim.
All right, thanks, Tim. People might be going a little stir crazy. You might want to get out, get some fresh air. You never know. Hey, more than 1,000 people are working to clear the streets in Philadelphia. Take a look at all the snowplows. They are out scraping the snow off of Kelly Drive. Here comes that caravan working in teams here. Mayor Sherelle Parker said there's no timeline as to how long it's going to take to clear the roads. We gotta be patient here. But she did promise that no neighborhood will be left behind.
Yeah, and our reporters are in all parts of our region right now. NBC 10's Isabel Sanchez is in Hunting Park. We can hear that sleet hitting your jacket, Isa.
Ouch, and it hurts. It's hitting my face too. Brenna, Aaron, good morning. I just want to say that I literally came from Florida last night, and the whiplash is staggering. But these are the conditions here in Hunting Park. Take a look behind me. Some of the roads are pretty dangerous to drive by. It is really hard for any vehicle that is not a large SUV to drive by. But as you were saying just a second ago, those crowds are working hard. We saw a city plow come by, clearing up this lane. Big relief for neighbors that are trying to get out as much as they can. Some of them telling me they need to get medicine. Some of them they need to get food and trying to cross the street. So you can see a little bit more because all of the snow, of course, making it harder for folks to get their vehicles out. This is one of the neighbors. They're helping each other, and this is my favorite part of all of this. We have seen neighbors coming together. How you doing today? Good morning. Coming together and helping each other, plowing and cleaning sidewalks and cars all over this neighborhood here in Hunting Park. If you take a look that way, Miguel, well, you can see all the neighborhoods coming together, getting the salt, getting the plow, they're getting the shovels ready to clear up this sidewalk. On our way here, we came all the way from Havertown, and it took us nearly an hour to make it. Even those big 476 crews were struggling to keep them clean, and of course that is a very dangerous and difficult situation. The good news is that we saw very little vehicles on the road, which means people are listening, are staying at home and staying safe. And again, behind me you see those neighbors are relentless. They're talking to each other, they are helping each other, and if you cannot get a little bit of warmth with a soup or with the temperature that are so cold right now, you definitely get the warmth of the brotherly love of Philadelphia, which makes you smile in the middle of this very complicated storm situation. Ladies, I'm going to stay here and I will bring you updates as things develop, but I can tell you this is sleet, and if you're outside, you're going to feel it in your face because it really hurts. Back to you guys.
All right, get back inside, Isa. Get out of that sleet.
It's funny, we've been seeing everybody all of our friends have talked to.
Yes.
Everybody's got a smile on their face. They're like, you know what? It's here. Making the most of it.
That's why they're the ones outside.
Neighbors hugging neighbors.
They want to say hi. Look at this.
Oh, nice.
It's getting nasty out here.
Hi,
Nasty out there.
He's talking about how nasty it is, and then he's smiling.
I know.
It's cold out. What is your name? Brianna Di Santiago. So Brianna was helping the neighbors. She said, you know what, I'm having a lot of fun. Brianna, please tell me, how are you having fun today?
Listen, helping the neighbors, it's always fun. Helping the neighbors, being supportive, it's easy, just being a helping hand. Like Margie, has been my neighbor for years.
Hi, Margie, how you doing? Good.
She's been
Yeah, I'm pretty cool.
She's been my neighbor for years. I'll come help her.
35 years on this.
Yeah. And I'm 19, so imagine.
See, this is why I love Philadelphia. In Philly, guys. Back to you guys.
Oh my, we got the whole neighborhood out. Isabel Sanchez.
I love it.
Hanging out.
For
all right, I'll let you. We'll let you continue your conversation. She's like, anyway. She's like, I just made a friend out here on the sidewalk.
It is a bonding experience going through these snowstorms together.
And right now we have special coverage. We've been on the air all throughout the morning, but we do want to let you know there is the major winter storm happening, but also the IMSA Rolex 24 at Daytona is happening right now. It's currently airing live on Cozy, which is channel 248 on Xfinity Cable. So if you came here looking for that, you can go to channel 248. But of course, we're on here because we need to talk about this snowstorm. Make sure people stay safe.
Yeah, that is the biggest point, is that we want everyone to stay safe, and we're entering into the second half. We're getting lots of reports of sleet, which means we're dealing with the mixed precipitation, and then we'll be dealing with freezing rain as well. But first, let's add up some of these snowfall totals, which are pretty impressive here. Tabernacle in New Jersey picking up 6.5 inches of snowfall. Morton, PA picking up almost 6 inches, 7 inches for Pittman. Hess Church, 8 inches of snow. Eaglesville, over 6 inches. And Pottstown, PA, 7 inches. So it's already been impressive. And now we have at least another 9 hours of precipitation that's going to move through. Mixed precip. It'll either be rain at the shore, wintry mix, which includes sleet and freezing rain for most of the region, and then snow will continue to fall for Berks and the Lehigh Valley. As we look at our current temperature versus feels like, if you did have to head out, maybe shovel a little bit or get your house ready, you're going to walk into feels like temperatures 1 below in Philadelphia, 9 below in Allentown, 1 below in Wilmington, and then 6 below in Millville. We're also looking at all the snow, but as we turn on our sweeping radar here, we want to show you the pink that's popping up, and that means we're seeing some mixed precipitation that's moving into most of Delaware, and it takes a little while for our radar to show it, but we're getting reports out of Burlington, New Jersey here, and even as far north as Philadelphia of sleet. So it's already starting for our region here. We've been watching this come up from the south this entire time. Reports of not only sleet, but continuing track into snow moving through. And now we take a look at the timeline here of when will happen in your neighborhood. It's happening now for parts of Delaware until about 4 p.m. for Philadelphia, now until 9 p.m. Our PA suburbs, 1 p.m. until 10 p.m. And for Berks and Lehigh, it's going to take a lot longer before that warmer air works its way all the way to the north, so that'll start probably around 6 o'clock. But the bottom line is, once this starts, once we get the warmer air and the precipitation, the potential is there, especially with the freezing rain, for us to see ice accumulation totals pushing us into either light all the way up to significant. Any type of ice accumulation is dangerous, and for us to be seeing this significant range, that is very dangerous. So let's take a look at the ice total impacts. Light icing is basically 1/4 of an inch of ice. That leads to icy roadways and dangerous driving conditions. We start to talk about significant, that's over 1/2 inch. When you start to see that much ice accumulating, 1/2 inch, major tree damage and also prolonged power outages. So we can't emphasize enough, as we start to see more mixed precipitation, that you want to be very, very careful. Hopefully you can just stay at home, but the timing on this, just so you get a visual of how it's going to continue tracking to the north and how long. If you just take a look at Philadelphia, this is going to start around 1 o'clock. This is at 4:30. We're still dealing with the mixed precip. 5:30, same thing, all the way until about potentially 9 o'clock before we start to see those temperatures at the surface going above freezing, and we get a better chance of seeing just rainfall. But again, that is about 9 hours of us dealing with mixed precipitation, which will also start into the west. Along the shore, look at that temperature, up to 30. So it's just all rain coming down for the rest of tonight for the shore before we start to see this entire system depart the region, and we'll really start the up.
Brittany, thank you. We continue to see visibility. Road conditions not looking good at all. You want to stay inside if you can. If you have that might be the best choice. This is also
Every business is looking for something to help it grow. A jump start, a lift, an edge, or even a boost. Introducing the 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment. Plus, get a $500 prepaid card to seal the deal. The 5-year business boost, only from Comcast Business. It's the boost your business deserves. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
All year, it's been nothing but the big game. It's always sports. It's halftime. Give me spas, new adventures, experiences, and romance.
Okay, everybody, here's a big play. Beautiful rooms, romantic dinners, spa time. She'll love it.
Coach, no X's and O's?
No, just hugs and kisses. It's 3rd down and goal, and it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Won't she be surprised when your big play is her big day? Book a Pocono Mountains vacation.
Dear Winter, we're coming. Our squad of vehicles, with all-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive, is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of our game. Bundle up. Toyota. Get great offers on your favorite Toyotas like RAV4 and RAV4 Hybrid. Shop online and visit your nearest Tri-State Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places.
Certifiable, a good thing when it comes to weather. One team is certified most accurate 10 years in a row. Who's keeping track? Weather Rate, analysts who compare all forecasts to what actually happens. Just so happens that NBC 10 First Alert Weather get it right more than anyone. Your neighborhood, your weather, more on point, period. No matter where you are. Certified most accurate. Who else can say that? no one. NBC 10 First Alert Weather, coverage you count on. This is NBC 10 News.
The roads are horrible, so don't go out. It's been coming down like this for hours. It's really whiteout conditions here.
We're not seeing the clouds being able to keep up.
It's going to be a long couple days, right? Unfortunately, yeah, it's been a while since we've had to stay like this.
This wind is no joke.
Our ice forecast, this is the most concerning part.
A very dangerous situation with the ice that we're anticipating in many of our neighborhoods.
Really, I didn't believe the weatherman. He did say it was coming, but I didn't believe the weatherman.
Are you a believer now?
I'm a believer now, yes ma'am.
Changing hearts and minds.
Oh, yeah.
Snow has been falling for hours, as our weatherman told us it would. Starting to pile up in many places. Live looks from our cameras in Allentown, Center City, Wilmington, and Cape May, and you can see the storm really affecting every corner of our region right now.
Let's take you to Delaware County. This is Drexel Hill. A bit of a time lapse here. You can see clearing the snow there from the sidewalk, and then it turns white again.
Oh no!
That tells the story right there, right? Video taken between 7 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. Looks like he didn't even go by.
I know, my goodness. It's going to work out in. Sleet is coming down in Delaware as we speak right now. We could hear it in some of the live reports, and look at this. You can see it there bouncing off of the car windshields. Trolley Square in Wilmington, Newcastle County, by the way. A lot of cars and the road are still covered in snow, and now they're getting that sleet and ice on top of it.
Oh, but see, this is the best part. This is the best part about getting snow. Check out this guy sledding down the hill, wiping out at the end, but that's fun too, right?
Awesome. Love to see all the miles.
You're off the roads, on the hills. That's where people should be.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of the roads, a driver got stuck in the snow here in Delaware. This is on Folk Road. Tim Furlong spoke with the governor of Delaware about 2-3 days ago. A level 2 driving restriction is in effect for the first state. That means only essential personnel should be out on the roads at this point. Unnecessary travel strongly discouraged. You could even be pulled over if your travel is not considered essential.
We have deployed Storm Ranger 10. It is our mobile weather radar looking live now where it is stationed at Wings Field in Bluebell, Montgomery County. This is part of the data our first alert team is looking at to track this storm. You're watching special coverage of the winter storm here on NBC 10. I'm Brenna White.
I'm Erin Coleman. The snow started falling around 2 o'clock this morning, so we are in the thick of it. It's already brought several inches to neighborhoods all over the area. And it's not over yet, not even close. Our storm coverage is covering a race right now. So if you're watching the IMSA Rolex 24 Daytona, it is currently airing live on Cozy TV, which is channel 248 on Xfinity Cable. Let's give you a look now. We've got cameras all over the region, and we've been hitting the roads as well. This is Bethlehem, Northampton County. Tough conditions really all around for drivers.
I know, and it's really not improving. We saw lots of snow earlier. Now we're seeing that sleet and ice. Meteorologist Marvin Gomez predicted that was going to happen. And that brings a set of dangers on its own, right?
That is correct. The ice, essentially the main threat moving forward the rest of this afternoon and into the evening as well. We're talking about a very large system right now. A lot of the action, a lot of the precipitation essentially on the eastern side of the country, basically east of the Mississippi River line. We're done with a lot of the precipitation across the Central Plains. There is a severe threat for Alabama and Georgia, damaging winds there. But if you look to the north, all the way from Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, a large portion of the northeast snow in our area, essentially the transition line of what is to come for most farther to the north. As we check out the latest loop here, the last hour, it does highlight and show that transition already happening across Delaware and sections of southern New Jersey, Cape May. They're starting to get a little bit of that mix, and in about 30 minutes or so, it's going to be mainly rain line will continue to advance farther inland away from the coast. Here in Philadelphia, our radar is actually scanning some of the snowflakes that have been moving through the city with the clouds, of course, but we know that there is a little bit of warmer air just below where this scan is happening, and that is why we're starting to see a little bit of that freezing rain, or excuse me, sleet happening in some of those locations. But as I bring you a little bit farther to the north and west from Berks County into Allentown, this is where the blue has been the most prominent, and this is where some of the highest snowfall totals have been reported in Pennsylvania. Huff's Church reporting 8 inches so far, Boyertown 7, Northampton Township 6.5, and also noticing some values near 6 inches East Whiteland Township. I'll have more on this winter storm coming up in a few, ladies.
Marvin, thank you. Let's go back over Center City right now so you can get an idea of the visibility that we're seeing. It's kind of been ebbing and flowing this morning with what we've been seeing coming in with snow and sleet, but definitely an extremely gloomy day and 16 degrees, but it feels a whole lot colder than that.
Let's take you down to the ground. Street level, Valeria Aponte Feliciano is in Center City. Hey, Valeria.
Can you hear us, Valeria?
Hey, ladies, right now leading. I want to show you what we are doing right now. We're about to get on the Benjamin Franklin Bridge, and the reality is we've been talking about this all morning. It is just not safe to be out there. The roads are very dangerous. And driver Manny Noguera is driving right now at 22 miles per hour. Once we hit Jersey, leaders are saying you cannot be driving more than 35 miles higher or you will be stopped. And the reality is it's just very dangerous. And look, you can see various cars, snow plows cleaning the roads. We've seen a lot of employees cleaning the streets and the sidewalks. But, you know, the snow is coming down as the freezing rain, and while they're cleaning and working hard, it's just still not safe to go outside. So the best thing is to stay with us with here, NBC 10. We're here with nonstop coverage, keeping you guys informed. Like I said, I'm on my way to Camden, and I will keep you guys posted of the conditions there. Back to you guys at the studio.
Be careful out there. Sure.
In Wilmington, on the roads, stay at home, and if you do have to be out, take it extra slow.
And we want to check in now with DelDOT. C.R. McLeod joins us live. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Tim Furlong was singing your praises earlier, bragging about DelDOT.
Exactly. What are you guys seeing out there right now?
Well, good afternoon. Great to be with you. Still seeing very challenging conditions on roads across Delaware, even for our plow drivers who are experienced in dealing with these type of conditions. So, again, a lot of mixed precipitation now beginning to fall. And really, with these cold temperatures that you were just mentioning, not seeing any melting. So, again, the roads are just good for our crews. And work to clear roads fast.
And we know you are busy and you're on the road, so it looks like you're breaking up just a little bit, but you did mention, you know, to give those plow drivers their space. A lot of people are trying to make sure if they do need to get to work, they do need to get somewhere that they do it safely, and you do give those space to the workers. They're working really hard.
Yes, yeah, we're plowed there. You know, a lot of the plows that you see out there, they're in caravans.
Thanks, bye-bye.
3 or 4 or 5. Good to talk to you. 3 or 4 or 5 in a row.
Right.
So it's so important because they're going to be making it passable for us later on. Right. So just stay home. Hey, let's take you to South Jersey now. Taking a look at the snowplows going to work in Woodbury. There's a little caravan right there along Route 45 where we also saw cars stuck on the road.
NBC 10 Siobhan McGurl is live in Barrington in Camden County. You've been in Gloucester County, in Camden County. How are things looking right now, Siobhan?
Hey guys, New Jersey continues to be under a state of emergency. The Emergency Operations Center here in Camden County has been activated. We experienced those dangerous driving conditions firsthand. I want to show you some video here from 295 on-ramp in West Deptford. We were driving from Woodbury Heights, tried to come check out what 295 was looking like. As soon as we got on the ramp, guys, several inches of snow, very difficult travel. Car stuck in the front, couldn't merge onto the highway because of all of the snow there. Thankfully, some tow truck drivers came by. They were able to help, but it was very dangerous there for a bit. Thank God those tow truck drivers were nearby. We talked to one of those tow truck drivers. Here's what he had to say. What's your message to the drivers?
Go home. Stop driving. Stop driving fast. There's a 35 mile speed limit out here, and they're doing 60. It's crazy.
Yeah, just to reiterate his point there, in New Jersey, there's an emergency order lowering the speed limit on highways like that, like 295 to 35. Essential travel only, really asking people to stay off the roads. I know we keep on saying that message right here. This is the White Horse Pike. You can see
continue in 2 more minutes. In the meantime, we do want to see how the storm is affecting your neighborhood. Pictures and videos by going to share it on the free NBC 10 app.
NBC 10 has coverage you count on air and online. Just text the NBC 10 app or NBC10.com. You'll find our live blog with important updates. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.
NBC 10 and NBC News are your all-access pass to the Winter Olympics.
Already buzzing with excitement.
You're live and live with the Hometown Heroes and gold.
Team USA, baby.
Cheering on Team USA right here on NBC 10.
Every business is looking for something to help it grow. A jumpstart, a lift, an edge, or even a boost. Introducing the 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment. Plus, get a $500 prepaid card for 5-year business boost. With Comcast Business, it's the boost your business deserves. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
I know we did it. Talk. I'm innocent. Got the wrong guy. Wasn't me. I didn't do anything. Okay, it was me. I did it.
Bringing an owl to an interrogation? That's a power move.
Every time.
Yeah. Hiring America's largest injury law firm for your injury? That's also a power move. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss that. New Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you can turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, totals, player props, $200 in bonus bets when you customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You can get your forecast from anywhere, but the most accurate forecast comes from us. Certified by Weather Rate 10 years in a row. No one else can say that. Reliable, fair, accurate. NBC 10 First Alert Weather is coverage you count on.
Right now on NBC 10, the snow is piling up. Our weekend winter storm is dumping several inches from East Philadelphia to the suburbs.
It's not the time to be out there driving. We've seen dozens of cars stuck and their passengers stranded. Some buses and trains are running, but not for much longer.
Many people are making the most of this snowy Sunday, but now our First Alert meteorologist is tracking what's next.
This is NBC 10 News.
On NBC 10 News, I'm Declan London.
And I'm Fred Shropshire. We've been tracking this winter storm around the clock. Let's go ahead and get right to NBC 10 meteorologist Justin Godnick. He has your Weather Rate certified most accurate forecast. You are right on.
Yeah, Fred, it has been snowing all morning long. Now we're switching over to the ice, and that is the biggest concern with this storm system. So the first alert, of course, rain in effect as we go all the way until about 4 a.m. Monday morning. Once this storm ends, and it looks like it ends a little bit earlier, going into, let's say, late evening tonight, there's still going to be so much icing on the roadways, on the power lines, trees. It's causing a lot of problems. In Center City right now, we have a mix of sleet and snow. The big snow has come to an end, at least over Philly. Just north into Bucks County, still snowing pretty well, and Montclair as well. But that rain, or rather snow-sleet line, is to our north. So sleet falling right now in Philly, 17 degrees. Look at that, feels like 1 degree. This is bitter Arctic air. A lot of people have asked me, how could it possibly sleet or go over to freezing rain with temperatures this cold? It has everything to do with what is happening up 5,000 feet, where warmer air has now worked in and changed snow over to sleet, and that's why these sleet pellets are falling into such a cold environment. It's above freezing right at the cloud deck. So correlation coefficient gives us the difference between who's seeing sleet and who's seeing snow. The sleet line roughly right along the Montco-Bucks border, extending towards Reading and Lehigh Valley, back down right through Northern County, Central Ocean County. If you're south of this line, you're dealing with sleet. You're going to stay sleet from this point on, or even mixed with freezing rain. If you're north, still getting a pretty good thump of snow, and that includes the Lehigh, Mercer County, as well, and parts of Ocean County. In fact, right at the beaches, pretty heavily in northern Ocean County. Let's zoom in on the areas that are getting the heavier snow first and foremost. That is certainly Berks County. Here is I-78, northeast extension right here as we work through Lehigh County. Heavy snow coming down. These are the areas that could pick up a foot plus easily from Allentown to Bethlehem to east on Route 22. That is a treacherous drive right now here in Northampton County. Down towards Philly. The radar is still showing snow, but it's wrong. We are actually dealing with sleet now, and a few snowflakes still mixed in. So now roads are going to go from bad to worse. Once we mix in, this is the time to certainly avoid any travel. Down towards the Jersey Shore, we are beginning to mix now with rain and freezing rain in Cape May. Again, precipitation depiction radar, not doing a good job here. This is mainly freezing rain or plain rain right along the Coast Sea Isle, Cape May, Wildwood, those areas going over. Atlantic City now has mixed over to sleet and some plain rain and freezing rain, so it's getting very icy very fast. So Ranger 10 deployed just outside of Norristown here at Wings Field, giving us the most hyper-local radar sweep we possibly can get. And again, it's showing snow PA Turnpike as you get into northern Monco, and in particular, Bucks County. That's where some of the heaviest of the snow is. In Philly, unfortunately, are going to begin to mix with freezing rain. Look how the temperature comes up. Freezing will fall and freeze on contact. But what it does, it releases heat in the phase change, so temperature actually comes up as it's freezing raining, even though we're producing ice. 10 p.m., that's when the storm luckily will shut off. It's moving a little faster again than modeled. Multiple states have been impacted. Major travel delays, snow, sleet, freezing rain, power outages, frigid Arctic breeze is going to fill in behind this. We'll have dangerous cold for the upcoming week. We'll talk more about your extended forecast. I want to show you the snow total and ice total map coming up in just a few moments. For now, Fred and Jackie, let me get it back to you.
Justin, thank you very much. Let's take a live look now. This is over the shore showing the near wild conditions in Atlantic City this afternoon. Leland Zhang joins us live from the AC Expressway.
Really, it's been nearly 12 hours since the storm first hit the coast. You've been out there all morning. What's it looking like right now on the AC Expressway?
Yeah, so we just got on the AC Expressway probably about 20 minutes or so. We've been really taking our time. You can see in front of us that there are some of these responders in front of us. It's a little bit hard to see past them. It's about 7, maybe 8 cloud types ahead of them. So like we mentioned from time and time again, and you can't say it enough, during conditions like these, you really want to give them as much space as possible to work. It's part of the reason why we are so far back right now. But right now, I can tell you that it's not that the roads are particularly hard to pass. They're definitely not impassable, but they are. So we are really taking our time on these roads and giving these crews a lot of space to work. A friendly reminder is that on the roadways right now, the New Jersey Department of Transportation, they do have an order in effect that basically temporarily lowers all the limits to 35 miles per hour. And this applies to the interstate highways here in New Jersey, U.S. state highways here, Jersey Turnpike, Garden State Parkway, as well as the AC Expressway, which is where we are right now. If you have to head out today, we really urge you to please be careful and take your time getting to where you need to go. So for now, back to you, Fred and Jackie.
Yeah, we cannot emphasize that enough. Thank you for that. From the AC Expressway down to I-76, where in township people taking it slowly there too, down to 1 there now. Cars, contours, only be out there if you absolutely have to, if you're an essential worker. You do have to hit the road. Some advice: remove all snow from your car before you drive. You also don't have to wait more than 30 seconds before you get drive. Your engine will actually muster from being driven.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be one of the biggest snowstorms Philadelphia has seen in the last 10 years, as you can see in these whiteout conditions on the streets.
Yeah, we haven't seen this in some time. NBC 10 back with the latest. Yeah.
We're starting to see more people out and about, just not driving. They're actually taking care of the snow. If you look at the road right now, we're on Umbria Street in Roxborough, headed towards Manioc, and you can see that the street, you can kind of see some pavement, It's about 5 o'clock in the morning, and now the residents are trying to take care of their property as well. It was only about an hour ago that we actually saw some folks cross-country skiing through Manioc, which is odd. You don't see that in India, but it was a very cool sight to see as well, as that snowfall had packed in on the sidewalks. We haven't seen very many people using the sidewalks to walk the street. As you can see, this car is having a hard time getting up Umbria Street because of that snow that is built up right there. So that's one of the concerns right here in the Roxborough Manioc area, of course, that we see from time to time when it snows, when it ices, and that will be cause for concern as we go throughout the rest of the day as well. We see some slush as well on the road, so it's important to take it slow. Most of the roadways are passable for drivers if you have to get out. That's only if you have to get out. Mayor Parker, earlier in her press conference, stressed back that everyone needs to use slow down. She also said that she didn't know when the snow emergency will, as you can see right here as well, not the safest thing to probably do if you want to get out and do your exercise. We've also seen people running in the street, on the street as well. That's the very latest here in Manioc. Neil Fisher, NBC 10 News.
Well known for its hills, beautiful on a normal day, but in conditions like this, definitely complicates things. Neil, thank you. A look right now in King of Prussia. You can see the scene right there, and the snow falling, flurries in the air, still coming down this afternoon.
NBC 10's Kelsey Kushner is live in Collegeville right now with what we're seeing out there. Kelsey.
Fred, Jackie, well, like many people today, we started off our morning here at the Wawa, just coming out, getting some coffee, and back in the car, driving around on the road today. It is being icy out here. It started off as nice fluffy snow. It's now switched over to that sleet mixture that we've got going on, making it very slick for people who are out here today. And Collegeville, I will say, has been pretty quiet for the most part, except for some people who do have to be out here on the roads, and they have to get to work today, like Angelica here, who works. You said you have to be out here today. What are the roads like?
The road is like is very slippery, so you should like take your time out here. It's really bad.
Like this, me either. I'm not a fan of snow at all. What are you doing to make sure that you are safe as you head into work today?
Taking my time. Just leaving out. Like I said, I'm leaving out early for work. And just being cautious.
Yeah, really all you can do out here. The roads are pretty bad. They're still coated with some snow. I'll show you guys in a second what the roads look like. When you're out there driving, are you able to kind of, maneuver on the roadway? Is your car okay?
You can maneuver, but I have like drifted and coasted, especially on the highway. So it's like bad. So if you don't have to come out here, do not come out here at all. Trust me.
I know. Well, thanks so much for coming out here. Thanks for talking to me. I know you have to get to work, so I'll let you go. I don't have to be out here too long. But you guys, I'll show you what the roads look like at this moment. Snowplows have been out here all morning working on these roads, and they're trying to keep up with it, but it's difficult, right? That snow's coming down. We've got sleet coming down now. So you can see roads still completely up that snow icy mixture that we've got going on. I did speak to a plow driver who's out here. He drives over here flying down. He says his crews have been out since 3 o'clock this morning working on the roadways, trying to just make it, as clear as possible for people, the workers who have to be out today. Not too many people making their way around town. We saw some people on some of the side streets, the neighborhoods. They were out shoveling, but really no match for a shovel out here today. You almost need that snow plow to kind of clear off some of the roadways. But taking a look at the Wawa, of course, we've got our workers inside. How you guys doing? Good. I'll come over and talk to you guys. Looks like they might be fixing their windshield wipers, which is a problem we saw when we were driving out earlier. They were getting frozen. They were getting stuck. It's not fun out here today. How are you guys doing? Good. What are you guys out here today?
We're currently changing our windshield wipers. Yeah, they did start acting up on us. It's really cold out.
Oh, it's absolutely freezing. What's up when you guys are driving out on the roads today?
It's really slippery, especially on the highway. I've not seen one clean up. I have not seen any trucks try to clean up the roads. Yeah, it's a little dangerous.
Are you guys out here working today, or are you,
I'm actually being picked up from work.
Picked up?
Yeah.
There's just like a run this side. Okay, cool. Stay out there. The building was booked out there on the streets. Which left 7 hours early today.
If you can stay home now.
That walk. Definitely without slipping all over the place. Still.
Wasn't easy.